Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of The Golden Age Wonder Woman Omnibus Volume 6. Yes, 6 volumes of the brilliant Wonder Woman of the Golden Age period. The stories in here, 1951 to 55. Assume that there's going to be a Volume 7 soon, and that will complete the entire Golden Age of Wonder Woman. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. But this one, absolutely brilliant. But the style of artwork in this has definitely changed. Now, this is from DC, of course. Hardback. You've got the stories on the back. You can see the covers there. So it collects these page-turning issues and more. I always love that way. It says that. Now, the stories in this, Wonder Woman 48 to 71, and also Sensation Comics 105, 106. Most of the Wonder Woman comics got about 3 stories. The 105, 106, just 1 story. But it's great to finally get all those Sensation comics finished off as well. Now, I have actually got a few things to quickly show before I go further. This one, Wonder Woman in the 50s. There's some stories in here that are covered in there. So this is absolutely brilliant, but really nice because it covers sort of like into the Silver Age as well. And also, of course, some of the stories like JSA are in here as well, which I just love. But you say, wasn't a total surprise when I got the artwork to see, seen it here. So I've seen it already. The style changes, definitely does change. And you can really notice it. But still, I like it. Really, really nice. And there's a good introduction as well. Now, this is the volume 5. Here's volume 5. And I say, the artwork in this is definitely still looking very similar to the ones that were like in 2, volume 3, etc. But it definitely with volume 6, you've now noticed a complete change. And I guess that volume 7 will be even more different. And here, of course, is the Silver Age one. So it's just a complete run. Now, at the moment, they're only on volume 2 for Wonder Woman Silver Age. So I don't know if there's going to be a volume 3 at some point. Now, let's just go through this. As mentioned, it's got an introduction, which is really good. Introduction gives a lot of details about things, quite a few things I didn't realise about Wonder Woman, so it's really nice to get. See, just 2 pages from the February 2024 from DC Archive. I have this there. And you've got the covers, of course. The covers are always great to see. My apologies for the sunlight. It is blazing here. It's really nice. One of the nicest days we've had for ages and ages. So it's really warm and the sun is just pouring through. Now, you've got here Wonder Woman and versus Robot Woman. Obviously, a robot Wonder Woman. Of course, as always with these things, the evil villains behind the thing, this gang have decided we can build a robot Wonder Woman. Not certain that if you've got that technology, that level of technology, you'd think that you would actually probably build other robots, wouldn't you? It'd make more money than robbing banks and things. But anyway, don't worry. That's a bit odd. But still, there she is. And of course, she has to battle the robot one. It's a great opportunity because they can always have those sort of, the sister turns up, or the what's the name, or a duplicate from another obviously dimension, those sort of things. But this time it was a robot. And of course, there's a complication there. There's a bomb as well that they accidentally steal. You have to have a complication. Now, this story, Treasure of Captain Storm. Love a good old pirate story. That's always a great little one there. And of course, got Etta Candy, etc. All pirate ship there. And of course, you've still got all the usual sort of things. You've got obviously there, the invisible plane. Of course, you've got to have that, the lasso, etc. And I always love this mental radio so she can call Wonder Woman at any point. And Little Miss Wonder Woman. So you've got another. They did loads of these sort of odd stories. Really strange. Imagine having Wonder Woman as for your mother, etc. And of course, they did this all the time. There was many variations. One of the Sensation comics. Here's Sensation comics. You definitely can see the style has changed. Look at that. It was just compared with the sort of Golden Age period. Definitely very different. But the artwork, the colour is just absolutely brilliant in this. And the stories are really good as well. I mean, I've been reading through it. I haven't read it complete, of course. No, I mean, it's going to take over time. I generally don't go through it. But it's one of those books you just pick up and you can just dip through. And it's got like these lovely dinosaur ones. You just have the weird, quirky stories that they had. Look at that lovely artwork, that flames there. Just really, just great. But these stories, there's also one here that's definitely like Rebel Without a Cause sort of thing. I don't know if it's this one, but they're sort of going with a car and they're sort of, I was thinking, yeah, not Rebel, whatever. It's obviously a James Dean story. But I'm thinking of another film probably, but still. And also you've got Fairgrounds and things, whole mix of different stories. They really went through the oddest of stories in this, completely different, I think, from the Batmans and the Superman and all those sort of ones. These stories, I mean, look at that. Just not the sort of thing you'd ever imagine, sort of, I don't know what's happening there. There was some, luminous things, specimens for the hospital aquarium, as it would. And then you've got another one here, some more stories here. Lovely dog. What's this? Well, tense court watches. Wonder Woman examines the defendant's paw with keen Amazon vision. Yes, she's got obviously she can, like Superman, she's got that ability to zoom in and see various things. She can it was useful with the bomb one, so she could examine sort of various things. She knew exactly what was happening. And you got some other stories. Yeah, more obviously sort of pirate or ship stories. Definitely a popular theme. And also, of course, lovely elements of historical there as well, which is always good. Often they also had weird alien invasions and things. There was one that was really good, which was like in droplets of water kind of thing. Very strange story. Oh, just talking about that, I think it's this one. That's the weird one. Absolutely very weird. Not sort of story you would not be doing that sort of story now. They just wouldn't do that, I'm quite certain. And also, they often were knocked out. There was always ways of making certain that obviously Wonder Woman would be gassed, and of course that would be it. Wonder Woman, what's happening, etc. She collapses, of course. And then you got this. Oh, this was a great one as well. This is the one I was thinking about. The one with the just look at the rain. I just love that. Just the rain being used as a weapon. Brilliant. And then you got another story here. The Man Who Shook the Earth. I don't know how they did this. I imagine they must have had and it says at the start, mentions that he was a virtual story writer. I mean, literally produced story after story after story. And I can well imagine it was just he must have had all these themes. We're going to do this story. We're going to have a story. Just a list of all these sort of things that we're going to put in. And then, of course, she's super strong there. Obviously, cracked through a tree there, splits the tree. But you can see the style of the artwork starting to change a bit. It's got the line is slightly different. Wonder Woman's invisible twin. So they started introducing those. Of course, at this point we didn't have obviously Wonder Girl, Wonder Baby, and all those things. As far as I'm aware, I haven't seen a character like that. Of course, Steve is still in the storyline. I think he continued, of course, but he was a fine character. Always trying, of course, to find the identity. How difficult was it? But again, I suppose Lois Lane. Exactly the same sort of thing, wasn't it? And of course, Prisoner of the Ruby Ring. Look at that. That's a lovely one. I think that's just a really odd story. How can I break through the magic power of the ring? I'm certain she'll work it out. She always does. And there's always that sort of things I love in the plot. There's always some amazing ability. She sort of she realises something or works out. And then we've got these weird sort of magic kingdoms and sort of various magic forests and whatever. Everyone's fast. Oh, what's this one? The Secret Invasion. See, another invasion story. How can we fight an invisible enemy? Well, she's got a visible plane. I'm certain she'll work it out. And again, some more historical ones. You've got various characters there, sort of Deadly Lance wickedly flashes her. Now, it's very wordy. Perhaps a bit like me sometimes, but still, they really do. They've sort of filled loads and loads of the text. Really, sometimes it's a bit much, but obviously it's nothing like now, where you'd probably have a couple of words or something. But this, they just really like EC Comics. EC Comics probably the worst. I think EC Comics you can suddenly get whatever that's the top bit. They would that's cool, but along the banner or the top part of the panel, you always find loads and loads of words, sometimes to the point where you crunch the character in, and it sometimes can, look at this. half the panel is taken up with the words. That's just a bit ridiculous, actually. I just think sometimes it doesn't really need it. Sometimes you think, yes, could you just cut some of that out? And that would have been so much easier and would not lose anything in the story. But still. Oh, and then we've got small later, the Olympics of Terror. Can't be a bit of Olympics of Terror, and I don't know who that. Obviously, someone diving away there, and of course you've got the cover there revealed for the first time. Wonder Woman's astonishing story, the talking tiara. So we've got the talking tiara in there, and of course she's obviously chatting away there with someone. Mental radio. I don't know if it's Etta Candy or whether it's maybe from. Oh, now the style is definitely, you can see here. Look at this runaway thing. It's completely changed. It's still, of course, Harry G. Well, now I don't know. There were certain people were doing the inking. It talks about that in the introduction, so read up about that. But certainly you can see it's definitely changed by this point. And I guess volume 7, it's going to be even more noticeable. And of course, as always, I think it's just the most inconvenient thing. Where is it now? I'll just skip it. How many times did that happen? I don't know. Probably must have been literally every story. How careless was she? She always ended up getting captured by her own lasso. That was a great tool but to always be caught by it was always a bit of a, I thought, oh, look at that, you've got a lovely Seeds of Peril. Obviously, one of the buildings sort of collapsing there, or obviously moving over was Eiffel Tower, not Eiffel Tower, Tower of Pisa. And then you got this, another, just, I still think the artwork is absolutely brilliant. I really love, and they're just so quirky, so weird in compared to the modern comics, as well as even the comics probably at the time. They were a real unique set of comics. I'm not certain that I can think of many. Now, maybe please put in the comments below if you know of any other sort of comic books that were this sort of style. I really think that Wonder Woman was probably quite unique in its weirdness for a superhero comic. Anyway, of course, there were lots of weird stories in Harvey comics and things. And there was, but you had, I mean, look at that, where she's balancing some elephants. One woman circus. I mean, I know we've had the Hulk do that sort of thing. Occasionally he does, but it's just stories that they would do. I mean, she's like spinning around on a little finger there. They just threw everything kitchen sink in these stories. And I just think, now the only disappointment, as always with these DC ones, is always the problem, they never put any extras in. Now, I'm not overly fussed. Maybe there's not enough, particularly any material, but they never do. All they do is this, which is good. I think it's really quite nice, actually. They put, obviously, the biographies at the back, though it's always, of course, very sad that, obviously, 2002 for Robert Cannard and Harry G. Peter, 1958. So it's only a couple of years after the end of the stories in here, for 1955, when the stories here end. But it was a unique style. It was really one of the very odd. And I've seen some other work of his, and it's just amazing. That sort of very early sort of illustration style he had. So unique to comics, I think. But again, maybe there's other people that probably think, you know what, if you like this style, maybe you might like this artist. I'm always happy to get that in the comments, because there's always loads of great artists to discover. But I think personally, this style, but you can definitely see at the end, it's starting to change. Definitely it's changing. That's the way it is. But still, I absolutely love it. Haven't read all of them. Got lots of great stories to look forward to in the next couple of weeks. I'm certain I'll be going through every one of those stories over time. But as I said, it's like with all these omnibuses, I like to dip into them. So the Superman ones I got some of the Golden Age ones and the various other still. They're just great, just to dip into. I don't think that I find that it's not like the Marvel ones. The Marvel ones, I read obviously a continuous story, because often the stories go from one to the next, and you can sort of, that character. But here, it's not really that case. So you can sort of dip into it. Absolutely lovely, really brilliant collection. I'm looking forward to, of course, Volume 7. Hopefully that will come out at some point. We did wait quite a long time for this, as well as Volume 5. It was quite a long time. But hopefully Volume 7 will be out, and that will be brilliant to finally finish off those. And then maybe, who knows, Golden Age Flash or something. But hopefully DC Finest. That will be another brilliant thing to say. This morning, before I uploaded the video, guess what? I noticed this. Hadn't noticed it before, but there it is. The logo has changed on Volume 5 to Volume 6. Old logo, the new logo. No big deal. But I noticed it's also slightly different with the Silver Age ones as well. For most people, probably not an issue. Not particularly an issue for me, but it's just, I thought, what? Very odd. Still, just pointing it out. So you're going to be buying this book? Have you got any plans for any other DC books as well? DC omnibuses? Don't really know of many Silver Age, Golden Age ones that are coming out anytime soon, but hopefully at some point there will be some new ones. I guess DC Finest will be taking up a lot of the archivist's time. So maybe we won't get so many of these. I don't know. Picking this up, Volume 7 as well. Is that on your list as well? Have you got all the volumes? Volume 1, 2, all the way through? I don't know when it started, I'm just suddenly thought, I wonder when Volume 1 actually came out. It was quite a few years ago. So we've had quite a long wait, probably a good 10 years to get all these volumes. And it's just great that they finally got them out. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Also, a like or dislike, always appreciated. Also, of course, I say comments. Bye.